So how do you create a database in Kubernetes? You need to provision stateful set, services, deployment, persistent volume. Well, you use database operators, and database operators are magical things, which extends Kubernetes API. It's one of the Kubernetes, Kubernetes operator, and it allows you to take, current state of the Kubernetes cluster to the desired state defined by custom resource. And custom resources are the YAML manifest, where you define, how your database, how you want to configure your database, and database operator runs in a control loop to create Kubernetes primitive resources, stateful set, parts, and deployments, to take your Kubernetes cluster closer to the defined custom resources. And it has kind of a self-healing effect where, if your pod becomes unhealthy, or if your database instance becomes unhealthy, it can, restart or promote, secondary to the primary. So it's all great things. So what does database operator create or, provision? So this is for what database operator for Percona operator for Postgres create as an example. So it creates, proxy layer. This is about how you access either through like connection pooling. It actually uses PG bouncer, so it's connection pooling, and then how you externally access either through cluster IP or load balancer, for example. And then you define, of course, resources related to that, how many replicas you want to have. And then, of course, you have your Postgres cluster and Postgres instance itself. And again, you define, storage, the resources. Another thing you would have is, high availability, right? If your if your primary goes down, secondary can be promoted to primary, for example. So Patroni can be used, and in database, of course, you need monitoring, and another critical things you would have is backups, and scheduled backups if you want one, and the storage related to the backups, and point-in-time recovery, and secrets and so on. So there are a lot of things database operators create for you. And I just want to show you what, how you would configure a database operator using custom resource. This is not meant for you to, read everything, but I just want to give an idea. It's a big YAML manifest. You define, backups. Some things are through extension. You have your instances, and so on, and proxy, how you want to access. So while provisioning database became quite straightforward, you just define this YAML manifest, but once you start talking about maintaining this, you have different manifests for different databases, and quite quickly it becomes quite complex operationally. And imagine, you have different database, this case, MySQL, and MySQL has yet another custom resource to create database. And while it, does things like backup, scaling instances, it does it quite differently. And each database operator have its own custom resource, and configurations are quite different. So if you are creating databases, maintenance becomes quite a burden. So database operators made provisioning very easy, but you then have to maintain each database's complex custom resources, and configurations are different. If you add another document database, you have yet another different configuration, and there's limited conformity between different database operators. So the question is, can we simplify it? So even though database operators have different configuration, as we've seen in the YAML, there are common features whether you are using document database or relational database. Like for example, you want to scale your database either by adding more replicas horizontally, or increasing CPU and memory. So this kind of is a set of this is kind of things you want to do whichever database you are using. Another thing it common between databases is you want to configure database engine parameters. Let's say you are using Postgres, you want to configure your Postgres conf. Like often people like to set maximum connection count, for example, and the configuration itself is different for different database, but idea is you want to configure these parameters, and then you have if you want to access your database externally, whether through load balancer, cluster IP, again, you want to enable this configuration, right? And you want to be able to, switch if you have to. Of course, whether you're using document database, relational database, you want to back up, restore, and often point in time recovery, so you can recover your database to a certain point in the past. And also, monitoring is crucial part of database as well. So let me introduce OpenEverest. So OpenEverest abstract these complex database operators by providing unified configuration of the common features. It has its own custom resources, and OpenEverest is open source under Apache 2.0, so it's very permissive license. And anyone can, of course, try it, contribute to it, and we welcome community contributions. So let me show you one of the custom resource OpenEverest used to create or modify the database. So it has quite simple set of configurations. On top we have a backup and backup on how you want to schedule, if you want to have a scheduling point in time recovery setting, if you want to enable it. And this can be applied to all the databases that are supported by OpenEverest. And another thing is database engine configuration. So while you can define different scaling parameters such as number of the replicas and number of resources related to each instance, the only part or one of the places where OpenEverest specifically configures what database it is for is it's the type of the database. So OpenEverest has ways to discover available or supported databases, and then from that API you can list what are the available databases OpenEverest can create, and also the versions of available database. In this case, it uses Postgres 17.7. Monitoring and pod scheduling policy is actually also interesting part because one of the things OpenEverest allows you to do is you can define monitoring configuration once. So where your monitoring server is, what's the credential you're using, and then you can reuse them between for different database as well, and different type of the databases supported by OpenEverest as well. Another thing I want to mention is scheduling policy. So this is how you want to schedule your instances on physical node. So let's say, for example, if you want to have your primary and the secondary on different physical node, right? So when one of them goes down, your database doesn't go down. So these are the things where you want to configure once and then you want to reuse them. And OpenEverest simplifies this configuration by providing sometimes default value or allows you to set it once and reuse them between different databases. Even though I just described how custom resources are handled in OpenEverest, for most of our users, you don't even need to know about custom resources at all, because OpenEverest has a web UI where you can actually use few clicks on the web UI to provision and manage database instances, and you can see what are the available, what databases you have. So this makes extremely simple to not only provision but manage databases and scale and create backups and so on. And this is just example showcasing how you scale, either increasing the number of the replicas or increasing the resources for each database instances. So it's really simple to start off. So how does OpenEverest create a database in Kubernetes? OpenEverest has a web UI that I've just shown in the previous screen, and the web UI collects form input and then sends a request to the OpenEverest server. And actually, the payload over here is, the payload over here is the custom resources I've shown earlier. Then the server does authorization and validates the payload, and then create custom resources using Kubernetes API. Then OpenEverest operator uses admission webhook to add default values and validate the custom resource before persisting it to ECTD. So for this example, it's creating a Postgres database. So then OpenEverest operator creates a custom resource for the Postgres. Sorry about that. Where was I? So, OpenEverest operator creates a custom resource for the corresponding database, and then allows database operator to handle the rest. At the moment, OpenEverest supports MySQL, Postgres, and MongoDB, and we are currently in process of making adding databases easier, so you can add new databases in a matter of days. And of course, we want to support analytical databases, vector databases, and so on. And today is actually a very fun day for OpenEverest. We are donating OpenEverest to CNCF Cloud Native Computing Foundation, and we are currently going through Sandbox today. So thank you, and I just want to let you know that we are active on CNCF Slack channel, OpenEverest users. Our roadmap is public, so anyone can look at what we are working on, and if you want some new features, create issues, come have a chat with us. Thank you.